don't usually talk about what happened in Marrow Creek. Not anymore. The town's changed since then, put on a new face, like a corpse dressed for a funeral. But if you scratch the surface, the rot is still there. People whisper, still cross the street when they pass the woods near Hollow Road. They remember. We all do. It started the summer I turned 21. The heat sat on you like wet wool. The air was so thick it felt like it might hold sound too long, like voices should echo where they shouldn't. The town was small, a pocket of cracked asphalt and leaning porches tucked into western Missouri, ringed by cornfields that rustled like whispers when the wind passed through. No one locked their doors, not really. They said they did, but most didn't. Not until the first girl went missing. Her name was Janie Kroll. She was 17, worked weekends at the diner. Sweet girl. Used to bring my dad his coffee just the way he liked it, no matter if he tipped her or not. She vanished on a Friday night walking home from her shift. 4 blocks, that's all. She never made it to her porch. At first, people figured she'd run off. Maybe some boy from out of town, or a fight with her folks. But day turned to night, and her room stayed untouched. Her toothbrush was still damp, her bed made, her shoes by the door. It didn't feel like someone leaving. It felt like someone disappearing. 3 days later, they found her shoe in the ditch off Route 19. Just one, the left. Laces neatly tied. No blood, no drag marks, nothing that would make sense. Sheriff Leary organized a search party. Dogs, neighbors, even kids from school walked the fields, kicked over brush, called her name until their voices broke. They never found her. Weeks passed. Then it happened again. This time, it was Denny Parlow. 16, shy, barely spoke in class. He disappeared on his way to the library. They found his backpack propped against the flagpole in front of the high school. Zipped shut, nothing missing. His library books were still inside, due in 2 days. His copy of To Kill a Mockingbird had a corner folded, like he meant to pick it up again. People started locking their doors after that. The sheriff stood at the school assembly, sweat dark under his arms, and told us all it was important to stay in groups, to be aware. There's a pattern, he said. Someone targeting teens, maybe someone from outside. But we all knew it wasn't someone from outside. It felt too close, too careful. I remember coming home that day and seeing my mother staring out the window, her hand motionless on the lace curtain. She didn't say anything when I walked in. Didn't look away from the trees. "It's not over," she whispered. She was right. It was late October when the third went missing. Linette Voss, 18. She was my neighbor. We'd grown up together, played flashlight tag in her backyard, carved our initials into the same oak tree one summer. She was funny. Loud laughs from a small frame. She vanished during daylight. She was supposed to meet her cousin at the hardware store at noon. Never showed up. Her car was found parked neatly in front of the bank. Keys on the driver's seat. I saw it myself. Door wasn't locked. Her favorite cassette, Fleetwood Mac, still halfway through the last track. The tape had stopped mid-note, the wheels inside motionless. After that, curfews came down like iron gates. Kids were escorted places. Church services doubled. People clung to routine like it would save them, but it didn't. The police couldn't find a trace. No fibers, no prints, no witnesses. It was as if the town had grown a mouth and eaten its own. Then the letters started. They arrived by mail, no return address. Postmarked from Marrow Creek each time. 7 in all, typed with an old machine that left a faint smudge on every E, just a sentence or two each time. Nothing directly threatening, but enough to make something inside you twist. Do you ever look in your own backyard? I wait where the trees begin. I only take what's already forgotten. The sheriff tried to trace them, but they never found prints or DNA. Local press began calling him the Whisperer. The name stuck. The town shrank in on itself. People left. Windows stayed shut. School dances were cancelled. Sports teams disbanded. I remember sitting in my bedroom one night, hearing the wind tick against the glass and wondering if I was going to be next. And then it stopped. No more disappearances. No more letters. Months passed. Then years. People let their guards down. A few, like my parents, moved away. Others stayed and let dust cover the corners of their fear. But I never forgot. I couldn't. 3 years later, I was working maintenance at the county archives. It wasn't much, mostly filing, fixing jammed printers, replacing bulbs. The building was old, a relic with creaking floors and windows that whined in the rain. I liked the quiet, the dark corners, until I found the box. It was shoved behind a loose panel in the basement storage room. Water-warped cardboard inside. A stack of photos, receipts, maps drawn by hand, and tape recordings, 7 of them unlabeled, just numbers scratched into the plastic cases. I shouldn't have taken them home, but I did. The first tape was nothing but silence, then static, then breathing. Not loud, not panting, just calm, steady, like someone sitting too close to the microphone. It lasted 3 minutes, then a click. The second tape was worse. A voice, male, maybe middle-aged, measured, slow. She smiled when she saw me. They always do. I turned it off after that, but I kept listening, night after night. Each was worse than the last. He talked about watching them, learning their habits, how they moved, what they feared. He said the town had stopped seeing his children. They're already invisible, he said. I just finished what's been started. There were lists too. Names, dates. Some I recognized, some I didn't. One hadn't gone missing. Not yet. Mia Hallberg, 17. Worked at the gas station on Main Street. I drove there that night. Waited in the lot until her shift ended. She looked tired, bored. She nodded at me when she left, didn't recognize me. I followed her until she got to her porch, just to be sure. Nothing happened. The next night, though, her room caught fire. They called it faulty wiring. She got out, barely. I brought the tapes and the box to the sheriff the next morning. Leary wasn't there. He'd retired a year prior. Some new guy, barely older than me, took my statement and promised to look into it. They lost the box. Said it couldn't be found. Said maybe I imagined it. I left Marrow Creek after that. But I still get letters. Same typewriter. Same smudged E. No return address. Some things stay buried, even when you dig. You knew. You listened. I'm not done. I think about the silence on that first tape. The calm, the certainty. Whoever he was, is. He never left. Not really. Some nights, when I walk home, I feel the air pause behind me, like someone matching my steps, watching. Marrow Creek may have moved on, but he didn't.